starting really soon here. I just wanted to get my YouTube up here and make sure everything's running right. So we'll be starting in just a little bit. Hang on here. Let's see. I want to check this. I guess I got everything ready to go. Well, I'm still not quite used to the timing yet. This is a brand new type of system I'm doing. So it doesn't take me very long once I get everything organized. So anyway, here's Duffy Our Live.
To get used to talking without having anybody with you, you know, and just do it. And that'll get you more comfortable talking, you know, by yourself, doing whatever. So once you get that transition, or I mean, once you get that down, you could transition over to the radio station. That, that's
Appreciate it.
that's my advice. So, anywho, that's good. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm always willing to take advice. That's one thing I've always seen myself is just open-minded, and that's something I always encourage everybody else to do. You always keep yourself open-minded to different possibilities, and just don't keep yourself, so narrow-banded always.
Yeah, don't be narrow-minded. Absolutely. So with that, I'm going to close the show on Flat Earth Radio. I'm going to keep this going, so if you don't want to leave, you don't have to. But I was just saying the thank you now for the show, for the station, and people that are over there on Flat Earth Radio. Thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you next week. Later.
Okay, let's see if we can get this thing going here. All right. Hey, this is Thunder Talk with your host, Thunder Bear of the Courage family. And this is, let's see, it's Sunday, March the 3rd, 2019. All right. Yeah, I've got a brand new way of doing things now. A little distracting because I hear my own voice back. So I'm going to take my earbuds out there. I sincerely hope I'm coming through all right. Let's see. It looks like it's doing all right on the, but I can turn up the mic a little bit here. I'll do that just a tad bit. Let's see. All right. Oh, that may be too much. Hang on. Sorry. Hello, testing. Okay, cool. Yeah, I might have Wes Stace on in the second hour. He's continuing on with his show on the on YouTube, I imagine. So I don't know. I'm gonna contact him near the second hour, see if he wants to be on. I have lots of stuff tonight. Let's see. Oh, this may be a slight problem here. I got to shrink this out a little bit. Here we go. All right. Okay. Yeah, I got some news tonight, and I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about actually. Flat Earth law and stuff like that. Maybe too much stuff. But anyway, let me see if I can let's see, do this here and do a screen share. There's a let's see, hang on, it's over here, I think. Wait, screen share. Maybe that, I don't know if that works or not. See, Chrome wants to share the contents of your screen with Hangouts, Google.com. Choose what you like to share. Yeah, the entire screen, I guess. share. Oh, wait. No, that's too much. It's I gotta get the hang of that. I gotta play with it a little bit before I can do that. Anyway, I am on YouTube at the same time. I'm broadcasting on YouTube, and that will allow me to have guests on. So yeah, this coming up week, I'm going to try to go out and recruit some guests because there's a lot of guests I want to have on my show. Before I really start my show, though, I need to plug FE People, which is on ferlive.com website. And if you just go up to where it says media and you click on that, it's a drop down menu and it should be there somewhere. There's also an app for it on Play Store for Android users. Okay, I've got it on my phone. The thing about it is, it took me a little while to find it. I had to spell it just right, as in, usually you get really close. I mean, not the letters so much as I had to capitalize, because it's capital FEP, and then the rest is all lowercase. It's EOPLE. Okay, so you gotta type it in precisely right. I don't know why, but also I did find something interesting. I typed in flat Earth as well on the Google Play Store, and there's some flat Earth apps there. Okay, there's also ferlive.com there, so you can get that app, and it's a really good app, by the way. That's what I have right now on my phone. It's pulled up. But I'm going to take it off there. Yeah, it really is. It's a good app to have. And I won't be doing commercials off of my phone anymore. I am doing this through my internal mic, just to let you know, because I couldn't use the good mic and do what I'm doing and do the loop back thing. So right now it's a very frustrating process. The whole damn thing is a frustrating process. Oh, NASA Lies About Everything has joined the chat session. Cool. Welcome to the chat. Okay, so right off the bat, hang on, I got to minimize this here. There we go. Not minimize. Move it over like this so I can, okay, and move that. I guess I have to move it like that. All right. Or like, jeez. I only have 2 screens to work with here, and they're cluttered. When I first started this broadcast, this show, that is, I was able to actually use 2 computers, but I had 2 computers going and an extra screen as well. Anyway, over on my Lightning Post page on Facebook. Okay, if you're on Facebook, please hop on over there to Lightning Post. All right, I've got news stories up there. Oh, and by the way, I can use my mouse again while I'm doing the show. That's great. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. I went out and actually bought a USB hub. So anyway, cop charged with horrifically torturing restrained teen with taser walks free after mistrial. Now, I want to tell you something about those mistrials. That's not necessarily the end. If you have a mistrial, they can try you again. They don't want to do that because it's a cop. All right. But I know for a fact they can try you again, because they were railroading a friend of mine. And this is a time when I didn't know hardly anything, really. I knew something, but I didn't know enough. And I went in there and tried to be his Sixth Amendment counsel under the United States Constitution, because I thought, well, at least they have to pretend to be constitutional courts. No, they only have to pretend to be constitutional. And the jury saw that they wouldn't allow me to do that. And we essentially invoked the United States Constitution. And there were a lot of things going on at that time. And it caused a mistrial. Okay. It's caused a mistrial, and they tried him again. And they convicted him, of course, even though he was totally innocent. But fortunately, I knew how to get him out of jail. He was supposed to be in for 3 years. I got him out in about 7 days. I did that by actually adopting him lawfully, not legally, but lawfully, adopting him and claiming him as my property. And he was out fast. I mean, really freaking fast. As soon as I did that, basically, they said, "Oh no, he's got a hearing coming up. He's got a hearing coming up." And the next thing I know, he's out. You know, he's out. He was supposed to be sentenced to, well, he was sentenced actually to 3 years, and they were talking about adding more time. They knew damn well what they were doing. His attorney tried to trick me into testifying against him. And the reason being is because the cops were, I don't want to say at fault, they were the crooks here. You know, they were the ones that were committing the crime. They thought he was homeless, and he wasn't. And they thought they can get away with it because they do that to the homeless. They get away with treating the homeless like crap all the time, you know, kidnapping them and everything because they're homeless. And no resources to fight back with, you know. So anyway, I might have covered this next news story before on another show. I can't remember if I did. Anyway, it says immersive virtual reality therapy shows lasting effect in phobia treatments for children with ASD. Virtual reality, it does hold a lot of promise for essentially psychotherapy. As a matter of fact, even the comic books in Marvel Comics in an alternative timeline, I think it was, or no, it may have been the main continuity, the main 616 continuity. I can't remember exactly offhand, but Wolverine was brainwashed by the Hand, and S.H.I.E.L.D. placed him in a virtual reality simulation to basically break that brainwashing. And it took them a long time, but they eventually did. They eventually broke the brainwashing. So, actually, what I think it was a mainstream story in the mainstream story. I'm sorry, main continuity story, but they also did a what if. I think they did a what if on that story too. But whatever. 7 things to look out for in your wee. That's urine, by the way, as they could be signs of cancer. Okay, that's from the Mirror in the UK. I haven't actually looked at the story. I need to probably, but whatever. Laser-induced graphene gains new powers. A lot of different things. These metamaterials are really cool. You know, they got all kinds of metamaterials now that just do all kinds of really cool stuff. But in this case, it's like something they call thermal therapy. I haven't actually read the story. De-icing, anti-icing, and antimicrobial. That's right, antimicrobial. Oh God, it's weird. Some of the words I have trouble mispronouncing, like misogyny. For some reason, I could not pronounce misogyny right. And I finally figured out, it's like, oh, wait, I couldn't pronounce it right because when I'm reading it, I'm thinking a hard G in there. And it's like, I'm trying to pronounce misogyny or whatever. And it's like, oh man, I'm just screwing up. and I can't figure out why I can't pronounce that word. If I didn't see the word misogyny, then yeah, it's like, oh, okay, I know what that word is. It's just weird. It's weird how we have letters that are like that, where G can be either hard or soft, and it's just, it throws you, you know. Here's another one. Cops smell weed on 16-year-old boys, so they beat the hell out of them. Yep, that's par for the course, you know, as they say. Um, that's just the way things are. Okay, in a police state. 11-year-old boy visited by cops after neighbors reported him for selling hot chocolate. Yeah, the see something, say something thing, just like in Nazi Germany. And it's the sycophants that we have to really worry about. You know, sycophants are the ones that are people that essentially they support the system, even though the system is a police state, because they believe in authority. They have this belief about authority. So, yeah. Anyway, take a first look at the Lamborghini LB48H Terzo Millennial concept. Yeah, I just threw that up there because it's a really cool looking car. It is really cool looking. I've got to take a better look at it when I get the time. It is really cool looking. I'm not sure about the front though, because it looks like the front wouldn't allow. I mean, it looks like it kind of might, when it's going through the, going down the road, air might push on the front too much, because it looks like the front's a bit recessed. I don't know, but a lot. Yeah, the rest of it looks pretty damn cool. It really does. Okay, gold nanowires grow longer with vitamin C. Some vitamin C helps turn gold nanorods into fine gold nanowires. Ascorbic acid. That's what vitamin C is. Ascorbic acid. Child sex trafficking through child protection services exposed. Kidnapping children for sex. Yes. That's been known for quite some time. CPS is a pedophile ring. Go ask Carl Lentz. One of his daughters was kidnapped, and actually his son was kidnapped as well. But his daughter, when she came back to them, she was basically programmed to be very sexual. Okay? And she's just a little girl. So yeah, they do that. I'm sure there are lots and lots and lots of people that will testify to that. Study finds nearly half of child and adult sex trafficking victims were abused by police. Yeah. What else is there do you need to say about that? There's just nothing else, because it's the reality of things. A lot of cops are psychopaths and sociopaths. Another one, cops say their fear allows them to trample the Fourth Amendment. Okay, well, technically they're not trampling the Fourth Amendment, because they're not in the Constitution. You're not in the Constitution. The Constitution is a dead contract. All right. That's something else I got to talk about a little later, is why it's a contract and why it is dead. But yeah, the cops quoted here says you don't have to consent. I'm scared. You don't have to consent. I'm scared. So here you have a cop. He has a body armor on. He's heavily armed. and has his hands actually under his body armor, like in a really casual pose. So it's away from his gun. If he's really scared, wouldn't he have his hand near his gun instead of like a really casual pose that looks like a farmer and with coveralls? You know, that's kind of the same pose that he has. You know, he doesn't look scared to me. He looks like military, and he does not look scared. Nice, casual, relaxed. It's body language, and he's got a lot of backup apparently. So why is he so scared of someone who doesn't have a gun? Doesn't have any weapons. He's just going to search. The Fourth Amendment has to do with search and seizure, by the way. But it's still violating basic human rights, which I will speak about a little more later. Okay, you ain't seen excessive force yet. Cops torture handcuffed man for no reason. Actually, it's sheriff's deputies. They're doing the torturing because they're technically not really cops. They're deputies, and they're English Crown, by the way. Okay. That's what they really are. They're over here upon this land, and they are English Crown. Yeah. What can you say? I mean, it goes on. They will just straight up murder someone. They have before. They've straight up murdered people in these jails. What else can you say? It's a police state. Okay. There's a story up here by the Guardian.com, and it's a black man, and he is talking about white women in positions of it's called authority, all right, and how he had to submit to them or be punished, and he refused to submit, and he was punished. He lost jobs because these women wanted sex from him, and he wouldn't do it. And if you think about it, if men actually thought about it long enough, they would, maybe some of them wouldn't be so quick to, try to do power trips and stuff, and casting couch methods or whatever. Like, what if you were put in this position? Of course, there are psychopaths and sociopaths, so they to them something like that, they wouldn't care. Oh, you know what? I need to check this right quick here and see. I want to make sure I am on the air. I get paranoid about it because it's a new system, and I just want to make sure, because I didn't even check. Oh, come on, play. Yeah. I get paranoid about it. All right, cool. Boy, there's that delay there. Okay, so when schools tell kids they can't use the bathroom, schools are essentially jails over here. I don't know how it is in some, other so-called countries. The United States is not a country, by the way. It never has been, never will be, and never was, never will be. It's absurd. Even in jail, in jail you can use the bathroom anytime you want. Okay, anytime you want. There's a toilet. You You don't even have to wait, actually. You know, well, occasionally maybe, but yeah, there's toilets available. So why are schools even worse than jails? Of course, the food they serve in schools is about the same that you get in jails. Really bad. Well, actually, I don't know, maybe a little bit better than in jails, but not by much. The food is, such low quality, and it's because of a lack of caring. They don't care about these kids. They just don't care. So anyway, mother discovers and destroys Chinese high school student's handwriting robot. I thought that was just kind of an interesting little story. Not really important in the greater scheme of things, but it does show that kids with technology or some of them are going to want to try to cheat, and they're just cheating themselves. That's all they're doing. They're just cheating themselves. Let's see. Death from above. Boeing unveils autonomous fighter jet. Yeah, that's getting scary. I also have a story on here about the Army wanting to develop autonomous tanks. The thing is, they want to take human beings out of the equation. Okay. Because a human being might decide, hey, I'm not going to kill someone here. Just because you tell me, just because you order me to kill, I'm not going to do it. They might, say, hey, I'm just not doing this. But the robots will obey the orders. And that makes it even more dangerous. All right. Let's see. How to spot fake photos online. Yeah, I did read that article. It was interesting. Most shark photos that you see are fakes. That was one of the takeaways from that article. Most of them are fake. The Ring doorbell, which is it's a brand, okay, a brand called Ring. Their doorbell could have been hacked to show fake images. Security experts find. Probably unlikely that you're going to encounter that in the real world, but just so you know, okay. The possibility is there. If you have one of these doorbells by Ring, then yeah, there is a possibility that it can be hacked into and show you fake images. There's a story on new generation of flying cars taking the air. I didn't actually get to read it. I just skimmed like the first paragraph of it. Yeah, flying cars. I mean, it's about time, huh? Soon. Horrifying black snow blankets Russian towns. Yeah, it's from the coal plant. And in fact, there's a Russian town that had green snow, and it was causing the kids to be sick. And that's, again, from not caring. Oh, this is cool. 1 terabyte micro SD cards are here. Yeah, the thing is, most phones don't support 1 terabyte cards, though. But they will in the future, It's just it's a matter of time. So, if you can afford a really good phone, yeah, you can have a 1 terabyte card. And in fact, I did a story on the 1 terabyte phone, it had the 1 terabyte internal memory that Samsung is coming out with. I think that's really cool. I mean, really, really cool. Sometimes I get to the point where, I've got a 32 gigabyte SD card on my phone, and sometimes I say, well, I've got to eliminate or delete some of the stuff that I have on on the card so I can make room for other stuff. And yeah, 1 terabyte would take a little while for you to fill up with videos and stuff, but you could probably. Designing the world's, hopefully, fastest human-powered vehicle video. Yeah, there's a link to a video, and let's see. I think if I remember right, the current record holder is like 80 something miles per hour. That's fast. That is really fast for a human powered bike, you know. So yeah, I don't think it's really very practical for everyday life though. But you can take some of the same engineering principles and make a pretty fast bike. Something that maybe, you know, even keep up with like local traffic, not an interstate or something like that, but local roads, something that'll go like 40 miles an hour or something. I think that would be really cool. Something with a little bit of cargo room, obviously, to be practical. Taking prenatal vitamins early in pregnancy is associated with lower risk of autism, study says. Okay, well, it's just a study. I haven't actually looked at the study. It does make a certain amount of sense, though. Okay. The thing about vitamins is you've got basically 2 types. You've got commercial grade vitamins and you got pharmaceutical grade vitamins. Okay. So yeah. Oh, Grace Moore has joined the chat session. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I got a chat over here on my YouTube thing too. Let's see if I can. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, where is it? Where is it? Wow, I don't know if I can find it. I don't know where it's at. Yeah, I can't find the. Hang on. Let me see. Yeah, I have no idea how to find it. It's got to be here somewhere. Yeah, I can't find it. Oh well. Let's see. Supreme Court hears biggest church and state case in years. I want to actually address that on another show. Okay. I want to address it on another show. I'm going to go ahead and play a news break for you. Hold on. Let me shrink this down a little bit. Here's the promo, and let's see. Play. Okay, I'm back. By the way, I've just found the group chat or my YouTube. Okay, so I got that up and running. Okay, yeah, there's some other things up there. I got to figure out how everything works. I got to figure out also how to get everything so where I can share it on the screen. Hang on, let's see. So I can, well, I'm not sharing on screen. I'm at, damn it. I got too much stuff here. I got way too much stuff. All right. Damn it. It's not going to work. I need to be able to see the other chat. All right. Well, I don't know. All right. Getting back to the new stuff. You've got 9 best reasons to use Fedora or Linux. Yeah, I was going to try to put that on my computer. I couldn't really do it. I need to spend more time trying to do it. In other words, it's kind of a pain in the ass to try to do it. But yeah, it looks like it would be better than Ubuntu. But I don't know. After peanut allergy, RX eating small bits of peanut might help study. Yeah, there's a study, in other words. RX is, of course, prescription. That's shorthand for prescription. Yeah, peanut allergy prescription, eating small bits of peanut might help. Okay. So if you have peanut allergies, maybe you might want to check into that. I don't know. Senate demands Google CEO answer for hidden Nest microphone. Yeah, I had an earlier story that I didn't actually do on air because I kind of missed it when I was looking over stories. But yeah, Google said that they didn't intend to hide the microphone in the Nest. And Nest, by the way, is a little device that you put in your house and it's supposed to, I don't know, control the house basically or whatever. I don't know. Look it up if you want to, if you're really interested in it. Okay, now this one is from NBCnews.com. Now, normally I don't do mainstream media stuff that much, but in this case, remains of U.S. troops dumped in landfill. Air Force confirmed Thursday unclaimed remains of 274 U.S. service members were disposed of in a Virginia landfill. Yeah. The thing is that they just look at you as if you're cattle. Okay. That's what they consider you to be, is cattle. And I don't know what else to say about that. Okay, I have a link to a video, how to mail a letter or postcard for only 2 cents. I've had that information in my files for a very long time now, and I never commented on it. It's buried somewhere in one of my, I don't know, one of my files, and I kind of just put it aside and forgot all about it. But Jaron of Jaronism made a short video showing you how to do it. Okay. And essentially what you're doing is you're using the real post office to mail a letter. You're not doing it inside the United States. It has to be upon this land, okay, that the geographical region that we call the United States of America, but not inside the United States that is a corporation. And by the way, it shows you this, there's absolute proof that this works. Okay. And it shows different things. It shows, for one thing, that the United States is a separate entity. Okay. Okay, it shows that it is a separate entity. It is not what you think it is. So if you're interested, please go over there. If you don't have Facebook, just go over to YouTube and look for Jeranism's video, and how to mail a letter or a postcard for only 2 cents. Okay. Model who exposed the elite pedophile ring found dead after tweet predicting she'd be killed. Yeah, of course. What do you expect? It's just to the point where, yeah, I'm not shocked by that at all. It's business as usual, Watch, cop punches handcuffed teen, then fellow cop gets caught trying to delete video. Yeah. That's why the cops want your phone, by the way. They will, a lot of times they will try to steal your phone. If you're videoing them, they're crooks, and they do not want evidence of their crimes. But they get caught so many times. U.S. Army takes 50 tons of gold from Syria in the alleged deal with ISIS. Yeah, well, I mean, ISIS is basically a creation of the U.S. military. Okay, that's what they are. The Department of Defense, actually, I should say. Which is the same thing, basically. But yeah, I really should specify the Department of Defense created ISIS, the so-called terrorist group, real terrorist group, and not the goddess, in case you're wondering. Frightened cops show up to innocent unarmed man's home, start shooting for no reason. Yeah. You're starting to see a pattern here. Frightened. They say they're frightened. They're scared. Yeah, because they're told. It's like, if you shoot someone, just say that you were scared, that you were afraid for your life, and you'll be just fine. Disturbing video shows what shopping while black looks like in a police state. I haven't actually seen the video yet. But yeah, I'm not surprised. Okay. Who lives upon this land is actually surprised that a black man would be, harassed or maybe shot or whatever just for shopping. All right. That's all the new news stories that I have. All right. So there's a lot of things I want to talk about. I want to talk about the do not detain list. Okay. When cops pull me over, I can just tell them, hey, look up this legal person that I own. In fact, I say it that way. I don't say, this is my name. I say, look up this legal person that I own. And your computer says, do not arrest, do not detain, federal level. Also says a bunch of other garbage, by the way. I'm actually libeled in that system. And that's one reason why in my remedy that I'm going to be seeking pretty soon, I'm going to stipulate that that legal person is simply eradicated from their databases. And we're going to insert a new legal person in, and what it's going to say on there is do not arrest, do not detain, international level. And I expect that that's the only thing it's going to say. They're damaging my reputation with the crap, the lies that they have in that database. Okay. The only thing that's not a lie that I know, well, of course, I don't know all of it. I know only a little bit of what's in there, a few bits and pieces, but it's lies. But the only thing that's not a lie is do not arrest, do not detain, federal level, that I know of anyway. So how I got that? In court. Well, technically at court, really. Okay, at court. Meaning I was in the courtroom, okay? But I was not under their jurisdiction. They just thought I was. I proved I wasn't because I moved myself out of their jurisdiction. But anyway, while I was in court, the last time I was in court or at court, whatever, I proved that the birth certificate was not filed in the correct number of days, and therefore it was null and void from the beginning. I put all that in writing. And at that point, that the creation of that corporation, it ceased. Now, I don't know why that corporation is still in their databases, though. It should not be. It should have been eliminated from their police databases. But it's still in there. Okay. I think I didn't really do things the right way, though. If knowing what I know now, I would have done things a little differently. I made a few mistakes. And it's really easy to do because they're crooks and they have all these presumptions and stuff. And I didn't have certain paperwork with me, which I normally carry. And because of that, yeah, they probably had a few presumptions left that I didn't take care of because I had to do everything from memory in a sense. And I've got so much knowledge that it just it kind of crowds out things, and I forget things. And that's one of the reasons why you need to always keep a notice on you, which I've got right now, but I need to redo it. I've got to redo the laws. Well, not redo the laws, actually. What I need to do is print up new ones, a new notice and the new laws that I have. So yeah, it's an old notice, and some of the laws, I had made a few mistakes in there, typos and stuff, whatever, in the old thing. So I got to switch it out, and I need to do that pretty soon, I think. I guess. I don't know. Last time I encountered the cops, I basically told them, hey, look up this legal person. Okay. Look up this legal person. It's in your computer and it says do not arrest, do not detain, federal level. If that wasn't in there, I would probably still be in jail. And still be in jail as in they would have kidnapped me and they would have taken me to jail and I would still be there. Fortunately, yeah, it was there and I walked. Even though I didn't do anything wrong, I was just walking down the sidewalk. There's nothing wrong with that. Even though I didn't do anything wrong, they, what can I say? They probably would have kidnapped me. And because of that damn video arraignment process, yeah, you can't communicate with the court. Okay, because you can't put forth things in writing to that judge. That judge cannot see anything. Okay, when it comes to their fake courts, the judge only sees and only notices what's right in front of them. Okay, there is a little exception to that, though, that I just fairly recently learned about. If you put your hand upon that bench, that judge has to hear what you say. But normally, if you're just talking, that judge, I mean, he'll respond to you and everything like that. But the thing is, he's not really hearing. He cannot hear you until you put your hand on that bench. You know, and you keep your hand on that bench. If you ever get into a situation like that where you're in video arraignment, I think that's really your only option. Okay. And of course, you might have your notice with you and stuff like that to protect you. You can place that onto the bench as well. But I don't know if I really would or not, because the judge can't see it right then and there, because he's separated, you know, he's in a different courtroom. So yeah, you might just have to just stick with just speaking for that part. So anyway, let's see, got other stuff here. Yeah, I don't know if I want to go into that right now or not. I've got another thing about what would actually happen if you really arrested a cop, and if you had like a small army behind you. Okay, so you can arrest them and actually take them to a real court. I want to do that, but I guess I'm going to save that for another show. I do want to talk about, let's see, husbandry for a moment. Your husband, your husband. Okay, if you're a husband, don't claim to be a husband if you're in court. Okay, you stay away from that word. Husband comes from husbandry. You're basically saying you're an animal at that point. If you claim to be a husband, you're saying that you're an animal. Okay, and they can make certain presumptions because of that. Also, stay away from the words sir or mister. Okay, you can kind of a little bit, maybe possibly work sir around to your advantage, but I just stay away from it. If you don't know what I mean, if you know what I'm talking about, then you probably you would know anyway. Okay, so it's your decision. But Mister, never allow them to call you Mister. I refuse that title. They say, well, it's just a social convention. Well, I'm not in your society. Okay. You do not call me Mister. I am not an employee or peasant. You know, I refuse to be labeled as an employee, you know, of your corporation or whatever. I just refuse that title. I refuse all titles. You know, you do not give me a title, because once a title is granted, and then it comes with certain obligations. Okay, like if you accept the title of Esquire, you're under obligation to the English Crown at that point. Okay. Let me see if I can get a hold of Wes Stace and get him on this. Oh man, there's still stuff I want to talk about, but let me see. I tell you what, grab this here. Oh, here's live events here. Copy and paste that in. All right. Okay. Let's see. If you want in, come in. Let's see. I'm just, oops. If you want in, come on in. Yeah, we talked about it, and I said, yeah, second hour. So, yeah, if he wants in, he can come on in. So, anyway, in the meantime, let me move on. Yesterday, I was kind of, I because Wes was having some troubles with his computer or whatever, I had basically I don't know what you'd call that. I used my computer to run his show, or at least a part of his show anyway. Yeah, he came on and then had his part of his show, and we were talking, and I had mentioned that I'd sent Jaron an email about, it's like, well, Jaron has a possible lawsuit. I didn't know if he knew that or not, but I did send them. I sent him some information and stuff like that. But the thing is, I'd only seen about half of his video behind the curve. Okay. And oh, my sound is low. All right. Hang on, let me turn my mic up. I didn't know my sound was low. Or maybe it's your volume, because my it sounded fine when I checked it, but I will turn my no wait, it has to be your volume, because the butt, that's right, I looked at the butt. Check your volume. Okay. Yeah, Wes says he'll be on in a bit. Yeah, check your volume, because it is not low according to the butt. Okay. Like right now, it is hitting. There we go. When I said hitting, it goes to amber. Okay, it goes to amber on the butt. I don't know. My normal speaking voice right now is going to 12, so maybe I could up my mic a little bit. I tell you what, I'll up my mic a little bit here. All right, is that? Whoa, that really goes in. That goes in the amber if I'm not careful. Okay. Maybe that's better. Okay, maybe that's better. The BUD is the software, by the way. It's broadcast using this tool. That's what it stands for. Broadcast using this tool. And it's BUD 0.1.16. If anyone's interested in the technical stuff. Let's see. Okay. Anyway, yeah, my group chat is up. I don't think anyone's on my group chat on YouTube. Of course, there's nothing really to see on YouTube anyway. I just, instead of having the camera on, I've got my little avatar up there, the bear in the hammock. I don't look too good right now anyway. My hair is a mess. I got to shave. I need a haircut. I need to get... All right. So anyway, yeah, getting back to Jaron's stuff. I finally finished watching his video behind the curve, and he did actually mention lawsuit, and he said he wasn't interested in doing it. So yeah, even though they lied and they are wrecking his reputation, he's just not interested in doing it. So who knows? Maybe he'll change his mind. Maybe he'll come into some money or something and decide, hey, maybe I should sue him. I told him in the email, what I said is that you need to do a constructive notice. If you're going to sue them, or you think you might sue them, do a constructive notice to require remedy from them. Actually, I should have used the word require. I didn't. But yeah, you require remedy from them first, and then if they refuse to give you that remedy that you require, then you can take them to court, because then it is a matter of controversy. Okay, and he can do both legal and lawful. But yeah, it does cost a bit of money to do that. It really does. There are ways of deferring the cost, but ultimately, yeah, you probably don't want to do it that way. But yeah, you can. Carl Lentz, that's Carl with a K. Carl Lentz he's had a lot of experience, okay, a lot of court experience, and he can do a much better job at describing that whole process than I can. Okay. Anyway, yesterday I was also talking to, I forgot who it was now. Brian. Yes, Brian is a guy named Brian. Okay. And I was having a lot of frustration with him. Okay. I really was. I mean, he seems like a nice guy and everything, but I was having a lot of frustration. The problem is that I was telling him, look, I'll just send you the information. I'll send you the documents and stuff. Oh, you tell me now, you know. And we basically got into a debate when he hadn't actually seen the documents. And it's like one of the documents is, I told him what it was, and he looked it up, and he says, "Oh, right here, blah 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 blah, whatever." Well, you're just reading it for the first time, you know. And that's a serious problem when you're reading a document for the very first time. You're not really analyzing it. Okay, you don't have a chance to analyze it because that document that he read, I had to read several times over. Okay, because I had made a mistake in my interpretation at first when I first read it. But you know, there were some things I just simply forgot about it. I remember walking away from analyzing it and saying, well, the colonies or the United States, whatever, isn't actually granted sovereignty, but I couldn't remember why, you know, because it's been a while since I looked at the document. And I was just pulling some stuff from my memory. But then after the show, I got to thinking about it, and I said, oh, that was it. That was the reason why the prince could not grant sovereignty to the United States, because it's not within his office to do that. It's up to the emperor, for one thing. And another thing, you can't grant sovereignty. You just can't grant sovereignty. No one can grant sovereignty. Okay. Some emperor comes along and says, I grant you sovereignty. You know, it's like, I'd say, just get out of here. I don't need to talk to you. You know, sovereignty cannot be granted ever. There's that, you know. And I was trying to explain to him that it wasn't a real treaty. It was a definitive treaty of peace, 1783. I also wanted to mention the Declaration of Independence. There's 3 documents that you can put together to show you the much bigger picture. Okay, to show you that the United States was a con game from the very beginning. There's the Definitive Treaty of Peace, 1783, the Declaration of Independence, and the Treaty of Versailles, 1782. Okay. Basically, Brian didn't know what the hell he was talking about. And I kept telling him, it's like, just email me and I will send you these documents. I learned a valuable lesson. Okay. I really did. I learned the lesson already with flat earth stuff. Don't debate someone who has no idea what they're talking about. Well, the same thing goes for law stuff too. Never again. I'm not going to engage anyone in any debate on law unless they've already studied the documents that I've studied. Okay. I'll be more than happy to send them to you through email. I mean, come on, it's really simple. I just send you the documents through email, and you get to study them at your leisure. And then if you want to debate me, if you want to say that my interpretation is wrong, well, okay, we'll debate. But not if you don't know what you're talking about. If you're just seeing the documents for the very first time, no, I don't want to talk to you. You know, it's as simple as that. I don't want to talk to you. It's like the whole flat earth thing. You know, if I'm trying to say to someone, okay, well, stellar nurseries don't work. Okay. They just don't work. And if you have no idea what stellar nurseries are, if you've never studied astrophysics, how can you really debate me? You know, it's just as simple as that. You've got to know what I'm talking about. And it's frustrating. It's really, really frustrating. So, and that's something else. It brings up something else that I wanted to talk about. Okay, about this link, flat Earth and fake government, essentially. Well, sort of. Okay, the peoples. There are a lot of people that don't want to believe the Earth is flat. Okay, because they don't want to believe they've been lied to by someone they trusted. They trusted the government. They don't want to believe it. And it's the same thing with the law. Like when I was talking to Brian yesterday, I got the distinct impression that he did not want to believe that the government was fake. He kept defending the United States government, saying it wasn't fake government. I told him point blank, flat out, the United States Constitution is just a dead contract. It's a dead contract. There's no one living who signed it, and it didn't even apply to the peoples anyway. But how am I to get that across to him when I don't think he's ever actually read the Constitution? Anyone who says, I have a constitutional right to bear arms, or I have a constitutional right to free speech, you don't know what the crap you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. You do not have rights under that contract. And actually, technically, there's 2 United States contracts. There are 2 United States constitutions, it is. And it's the same thing. It's the exact same thing for all these other, well, I was going to say all these other nations. The United States is not a nation. For like Germany and France and Spain and Australia, New Zealand, whatever. It's the same thing. Okay. Those contracts don't apply to you. They can't. You're not a party to them. You didn't sign the contract. Okay. You didn't sign the contract. And they weren't meant for you anyway. All right. Show me a constitution that is actually meant for the peoples. That's what I'm talking about when I say these governments are fraud. Is one of the things anyway. Of course, there's Ecclesiastic Law, Chapter 7. Okay. Ecclesiastic Law, Chapter 7 is, it says, canon laws in all nations. Okay, that's the English version of it, by the way, English translation. By the way, if you want to study ecclesiastical law and you don't know Latin, good luck. Even in the English versions, there's still Latin. There's a little bit of Latin. It's like, well, my Latin's pretty poor. I do know a little bit of it. I can read. If I had like a paragraph of Latin, I can kind of get the gist of it, you know. But getting the gist of it doesn't mean really being able to comprehend it, you know. And it's the same thing for legal documents, actually. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera on. All right. I don't care. Screw it. Yeah. It's a bit weird because I'm looking at the... Oh, here we go. I'll just move the screen over here. I think my hair is a mess. By the way, I am wearing my my usual shirt for my shows, my Cookie Monster shirt. In case you're wondering about that, Cookie Monster. So anyway, getting back to, oh yeah, legal stuff. Yeah, legal documents. You sit down and read a legal document. If you don't know legalese, or you know maybe a few words of legalese, guess what? You're not going to be able to fully comprehend it. Okay. That's just it. You're not going to be able to fully comprehend it. Boy, I do need to shave. God. I hate shaving. I hate beards. Screw the glasses there. Whoa. Yeah. So anyway, you're not going to be able to comprehend it. Besides that, the legalese is essentially like dog Latin, dog English, dog French. In other words, it's not grammatically correct. Okay. It's not grammatically correct. You can simply ask a judge. They hand you a paper in court. You just simply say, "Hey, is this in plain English?" You know, they'll try to work around it. They'll try to say, "Oh, well, can't you read it?" That's not answering the question. Is it in plain English or not? Well, we think you should be able to read it. Is it in plain English? You keep after them. Or you can just simply say after like the second or third time they try to give you a runaround, you say, "Oh, okay, well, I take that to mean I take your answer to mean that it is not in plain English." Okay. It is not in plain English. You know what? Hang on, I'm gonna try something right quick. Oh, hang on. Turn out the light. See what that looks like. Whoa. All right. Yeah, cool. Yeah, that overhead light is glaring down. Okay. Let's see. All right. Oh, problem. I can't see my my notebook. Oh my. Okay, so you know what? I want to talk about that too a little bit. I got to thinking there's these alternatives to like AD and BC, like like 5 BC or 1980 AD or whatever, in the scientific community, and I've heard this mostly Jewish or whatever, but whatever, where you have BCE and ACE. BCE is before Common Era, and ACE is after Common Era. Era as in ERA, era, like a span of time. And I got to thinking about that, and it's like, wait a second here. You got one that's before and one that's after. Well, what is Common Era? The year zero? There is no year zero on their calendar. If I made a calendar, which I did one time, by the way, I would have a year zero. In fact, I did. That's a long time ago. A long time ago. 13-month calendar. Actually, that was back when I was in Wicca. And I made it kind of like, how do you describe it? I named months after, mystical stuff in Wicca. Oh, God, that's been a long time. Jesus, that's been over 20 years. But a 13-month calendar actually makes more sense. The calendar we have now, most everyone has now, that is, in at least the Western world, that calendar is actually a black magic ritual calendar. Okay. It's black magic ritual. It's and it's stupid. It's really stupid. A 13-month calendar, you wouldn't even need the days. I'm sorry, you wouldn't need the names of the months. Okay, on a 13-month calendar, if everyone agreed to the same system. Think about these names in the months. Like January is after Janus, the two-faced god, and you got July after Julius Caesar, and August after Augustus Caesar, and all Roman things. Roman things. And if you have a 13-month calendar, here's how simple it is. The first 12 months would be 28 days. The 13th month would be 29 days, and in a leap year, 30 days. And how simple the system would be is you have like you agree to put like the year first. Okay, like say year 0, starting off year 0, and then slash and then the month year the first sorry month 1, okay, and then slash the day 1. Okay, that would be the very first start of it. And then you go up to the year 1, and then you have 1, 1, 1, right? You have year, month, day. And no one would need names for the date. And you call it the New World Calendar, or NWC for short. It's logical, it's rational. It has nothing to do with magic or anything like that. It's just pure math. Okay? It's just pure math. And you'd have the leap year every 4 years, just like you have now. And the moon's phases would line up a lot better, too, that's for sure. And it just, I mean, it would make things so much easier. You can't, it's like, oh, what does this month have? Like 28 days or 30 days or 31 days, whatever. It's like, no, first 12 months, 28 days, 13th month, 29 days. On leap year, it has 30 days. Boom. Done. You know, and it would just be so much easier. Wow. I wonder when in a bit means. This is in a bit. I think he might still be doing his YouTube thing. So let me see. Oops, damn! I didn't mean to do that. Hang on. Throw my flashlight here. Oh yeah, different. Okay, I want to talk about that too. Flat Earth. Okay, I got to thinking. It's like, you know how in the globe Earth model they have the Earth spinning around through space or whatever. If in their model they had, we'll just say atmosphere in space, so you can breathe and everything. If they had that in their model, the Earth itself would not actually have an atmosphere. It would just be traveling through an atmosphere. Boy, I look really bad. I'm tired. I have these bags under my eyes. Yeah. Yeah, I look bad right now. So anyway, yeah, the Earth wouldn't actually have an atmosphere at that point. And we wouldn't be able to live on the surface. That's it. It would be because it'd be traveling so fast through this atmosphere that it would just scour the surface. You know, there would be just nothing really on the surface. No life on the surface. So they knew that, of course. They said, well, we can't have that model, so we'll say space is a vacuum. And now they've got this mess that they're in, where they're saying, well, the atmosphere actually extends out beyond the moon, 400,000 miles away. Earth's atmosphere extends out that far. You know, it becomes thinner and thinner and thinner, but it extends out that far. And the moon, being only 240,000 miles away, or 238 miles away, 238,000 miles away, whatever you want to say, is actually traveling through Earth's atmosphere. You know, but it's like really, really thin there. It's like, okay, well, wouldn't that cause a bit of friction? Even being that thin, wouldn't it cause the moon to slow down over time? You know? And of course, the whole thing about, hey, where's the moon come from? In their model, they don't have a good explanation for that. Of course, in our model, we don't have a good explanation for it either. That's one of the flaws is we don't even know what the moon is. We just don't know what it is. Apparently, it is actually putting out endothermic light. It's light that absorbs heat. Apparently, anyway. I got to really look into that one day. But if that's true, I mean, she's wow. What the hell is the moon then? The sun is putting out heat and light and everything, and it's just the opposite of the moon, I guess. One thing that about the moon, actually, there's a lot of things about the moon, but one thing about the moon that really disproves our model is looking at it in the daytime. And when it's going through these phases, like you may have like a half phase moon or a full moon or whatever. Okay, but it goes through these phases: crescent moon, half moon, whatever. Right? In the daytime, and you see the sun out over there, and you see the moon over there. It's like, what's causing these phases then? They tell us that these phases are caused by Earth's shadow. Well, if Earth is right here, down here, okay, we're down here on the Earth, and we're looking up, see the sun over there, we see the moon over there. How in the hell can it be Earth's shadow? Okay. And there is NASA sites that say, oh, well, it's not really Earth's shadow. It's the moon's shadow. And like, show me how that's possible, how it can be the moon's actual shadow in a laboratory when you have the sun at all these different angles and stuff. And shouldn't that shadow be, moving even during the day? You would think that the shadow would be moving a lot during the day, and you wouldn't have phases that are cyclical in the month. It makes no sense whatsoever. The globe earthers, all they have are lies. When I say globe earthers, I mean those that don't really believe the earth is a globe. They just want you to believe it. That's all they've got. I've said time and time again on my show how they show us these experiments that they do, or observations, or whatever you want to call them, and they fake everything. The U-2 spy plane with the actor from Mythbusters in there, and and showing you the curvature of the Earth at 70,000 feet up. But before they even take off, the runway is curved, the building next to the runway is curved. It's like, okay, well, you're faking the observation at that point. Why are you faking it? You shouldn't have to fake it. If the Earth actually is a planet, spinning through space or whatever, or just say it's a stationary planet for a moment. Okay, a globe that's stationary or pear-shaped or whatever the hell you want. That's stationary for a moment. Okay. Well, if you're up in that plane and you're moving along, okay, and you're looking down using a regular camera, you should see curvature. In fact, you should see it far before you get to 70,000 feet. They say, I think NASA says like at 45,000 feet, because commercial jetliners fly usually at 30 to 35,000 feet, occasionally maybe 40,000. So they want to play it safe. And of course, now they've got in the commercial jet airliners, they've got those windows that give you that curvature. They didn't have that before. When I flew in planes a long time ago, it seems like the ancient of days or something. But when I flew in those planes, yeah, I didn't see curves. I didn't see the Earth curving. There was simply no curvature. But nowadays, apparently, you see curvature. because of the way the windows are shaped. But, you know, if you didn't have that, because you can look the pilot's windows. Okay, there's actually been pilots that have taken out their phones and videoed what's in front of them. Everything's flat. 30,000 feet, 35,000 feet, or whatever. They're looking out at flat Earth. And of course, there was the other thing the Discovery Channel did, where they had the laser over the lake, and they faked that. All you had to do was just pay attention to what they were doing, and if you knew how about lasers and how they will spread out over a distance. Okay, light itself, I mean, even if like a flashlight, that's obvious. That's easy to see. Flashlight, you see that it starts out small. The light starts out small, and then something like 10 feet away, and you see a much larger light beam, right? But lasers are a lot more precise, so, you know, more coherent. So when they spread out, it's like it takes greater distances for them to spread out. So 1 mile, you, generally speaking, depends on the laser, obviously, but a powerful enough laser. So 1 mile, you have maybe like a 1 foot diameter beam of light hitting the target. And at 3 miles out, you have maybe like a 6 foot diameter, something like that. Beam, you know, it's 6 foot is about 2 meters, roughly. Okay, roughly. For those of you who want to know, because I forget, I'm talking to, you know, audiences all over the earth. So yeah, they deal with metric. A meter is 3.28084 feet. Okay, so 2 meters is roughly 6'6", roughly. Okay, so anyway, yeah, if you know about how the beam spreads out, and you look at this and you say, wait a second, they said they went out to 3 miles, but the diameter of the beam looks like they're still at 1 mile. And also they moved the laser. You can clearly see them moving the laser before they even started at the boat. So they moved the laser up. That's the only explanation for that. They moved the laser up. And so they're faking it. You know, that's all they're doing is they're faking it. And you wouldn't have to fake it if the Earth actually were a globe, if there was curvature. Now, early on in the whole flat Earth thing, some flat earthers said, well, it's possible that we're on a much, much larger planet than what they're telling us. Well, in that case, the physics doesn't work either. The sun would have to be local. The sun would have to still be small and local. That's it. It would still have to be small and local. So, all right, there would still be a problem with movement and everything. We just can't detect any movement. You know, we really can't. I know there are some scientists that say, yes, we can. We've got this instrument over here and blah, blah, blah. It's like, you know what? Movement should be really, really easy to detect. I mean, incredibly easy to detect. You know, pendulums, if you do a pendulum right, it should be swinging on its own. Why wouldn't it be swinging on its own? You know, or maybe move it first a little bit and see if it continues. And if it continues, then yeah, you got the Earth moving. But if it just slowly comes down to stop, and that's it. Yeah. Oh my, we're getting into the last half hour of the show. What still hasn't shown up? Let me type in something right quick. here. Just tell them we're coming into the last half hour of the show. COMMIN into the last half hour. I am such a slow typer, I know. I'm sorry about that. Hour of the show. Damn it. Of the show. Okay. So, oh, by the way, if anyone wants to ask me any questions, okay, you can go through the chat on lvrlive.com. Sorry, let me do that one again. lvrlive.com. The ferret. And when I say, yeah, you can do the hangout on the, I'm sorry, the hangout. I'm sorry, the YouTube thing as well, YouTube chat as well. Anyway, I'm assuming it should come up. I don't. I typed something in there. As I typed, "Hey, anyone out there?" and no one's responded. So I don't know. I guess if someone is watching my YouTube feed, then they're not interested in doing that. Okay, so let me talk about simulation theory for a moment. Oh, hang on. Wes is responding. Anyway, yeah, simulation. I suppose it's possible this world is a computer simulation. Okay, but all you're doing really is just removing it a step. You know, because it's like, okay, let's assume for a moment that this reality is a computer simulation. Okay. If it were, then that would mean that someone was out in the real world with the computer that built the computer. Well, where did they come from? And that Earth has to be flat as well. And if it's flat, it's creation. And if it's creation, I think it's all consciousness. So, oh, okay. What's the saying is, I'm sorry, but my YouTube show is still going on. Okay. He's still typing though. That's fine. It would have been nice to have him on, but that's fine. No big deal. So yeah, I think everything. Oh, okay, and it's getting good. He's got a good show. That's good. Okay. Let's put okay here. Okay. Yeah, I think this world is constantly created. I do. I really do, moment to moment. Hang on, I got to take another break. I blew past the break point, so I got to take another break here. Not by much, but a little bit. I'll be right back after this. Okay, hang on one second. Wes said he wants to come in after all. I just wanted to make sure the damn it, I get my glasses on here. I wanted to make sure the commercial was over with first. Let's see. Here we go. Let's see. Oops. Here. Let's see. Do that and invite. All right. Let's see if that works. Okay, I don't need that right now. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Maybe it'll come on in a second. Let's see. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, simulation theory. Yeah. Oh yeah. The reason why I feel that the world, excuse me, the world is constantly being created is because of the Mandela effect. Here, let me get these earbuds out. It's easier like this. Yeah.
My channel because
here we go.
oh, I'm sorry. See, I got my buddy Thunder Bear is doing a live broadcast as I'm doing a live broadcast. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna let you guys take over my show. So take over my show, guys.
Hey, who else is here?
All right, there we go. No, they're on my show now.
Oh.
Let me ask you,
So
what kind of,
let me turn this down a little so we don't have to listen to that.
Oh, okay.
They're doing thing.
Was there something in specific, like?
Oh, okay. I see. They're taking over your show. Yeah,
They're taking over my show. Yes, that's what's happening. Sorry about that. Oh my God. Yeah, I have I got Dread in there, Musicians for Truth, and then I've got Jason, who is NASA Lies About Everything.
Yeah, oh, cool. Yeah, he's also in the chat on lvrlive.com too.
Yep.
Yeah.
You knew that. So how's your show going, man?
Oh, it's going really good. Yeah, really good. I'm glad I'm able to do this stuff now. There's a few things that I need to explore. There's some like stuff with Google Hangouts and the YouTube stuff that I haven't figured out yet.
Right.
But we'll do that.
So did you figure out your audio? Because when I checked in, it was really, really low.
Yeah, I think that might have been your volume because I was.
Well, you got to remember, I did a show right before you.
Yeah.
And my audio was super loud. And when I went back to listen to you, it was really, really low. So I don't know if it's still that way, but.
No, it shouldn't be. I did turn the mic up just a little bit, but according to Butt, I'm doing really well. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I mean, it's coming through. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it just seemed a little bit on the low side.
Yeah, it was coming through really well on my phone too. I monitored it a little bit. So
okay.
Coming over the phone. Yeah.
So anyhow, what's the subject today?
Oh, there's a lot of different subjects, but I did mention the thing we were talking about by Jaron the other day.
Right.
And what the problem was, I had only watched half of his video behind the curve, and if I watched the entire video, I would have noticed that he did not want to actually sue the producers, even though he knows he's got a good case. Yeah, but he also is a little bit concerned because they wouldn't give him the footage that he wanted.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, are you simulcasting on your YouTube channel?
Yes, and Google Hangouts and LVR Live.
All right, then you might want to turn your video camera over a little because we're only seeing like we're seeing your left eye. That was it.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning back a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also turned out the light because the overhead light was shining in too much, and I thought, Yeah, I just turned off the light.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, we've been talking about a lot of flat Earth issues, and we had so many frickin' trolls in my chat. It was unbelievable. It was just an argue fest, and thank goodness that I have good moderators like OJ Biggins. Oh, he was just booting them out left and right. I loved it. It was great.
Yeah. They
Always
just,
good mods.
yeah. Those trolls, I mean, what can I say? They just want to mess with you and just disrupt whatever you're doing because they don't
Absolutely.
like it.
They do that for sure. I know. Question.
Yeah.
How many subscribers do you got on your YouTube?
Oh God, I forgot now. I think it's over 100. Maybe no. Hang on. I don't know. I forgot.
All right. Well,
I forgot
what
to look.
I'm going to give you a suggestion
Yeah.
because you're not getting very many views.
Yeah.
And when you start your Hangout, when you put your description up, take
Yeah.
that description, copy it, or I mean, not your description, your title. Copy your title, put it in the description, then go down below where it says keywords, and you put in flat Earth.
Oh
And
yeah, I
then
forgot to do the keywords today.
you
Yeah,
have to
I
do your
totally forgot
keywords,
the keywords.
or no one's going to know you're even on.
Well, I posted it in Facebook basically like an hour or two before I came on.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a whole new thing for me. So I got to get into the habit of doing some a lot earlier. Yeah.
Yep,
Advertise it.
that would help. That will help the algorithm in YouTube, and when people search for live flat Earth shows, then your show will come up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And hell, if you even want to do a little sneaky one, you could throw Mark Sargent's name in there. You could throw in Patricia's name, my name, your name. I'm serious.
Yeah.
I know it sounds crazy, but it'll help.
Mm. Yeah, I don't want to be sneaky about it, but I will throw in my name definitely and whatever guest I have.
Well, you got my permission that you could throw my name in there anytime, even if I'm not on. Just do it.
I don't feel good about that because it's like, to me, false advertising.
No, because it's not. Because nobody sees that. Nobody sees it but the algorithm.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I'm talking about the keywords.
Keywords,
yeah. See, now I got Larry popped into my show. Horry Sheets popped in. Man, now I'm getting a full boat here. That's awesome. But they're just going off on their own, and I'm letting them.
So
I got to wave to them. Hi, guys.
Yeah, there's a lot of guests that I want to get on my show. So I'm really definitely looking forward to that. Next week, I'm going to try to go out there and recruit guests.
Yeah. Sure. Hey, I could talk to some of my people too. So they'll come on. I know they will. You know, like Dread would be a good one. Now, you already talked to Brian. Yeah. I know that Brian just jumped down your throat, but that was good. That's a good practice, you know?
Yeah, I'm making a policy now to not try to debate someone who has no idea what they're talking about. I offered several times to send them the information, and you just can't know anything about the document if you're just looking at it for the first time. You know?
Yeah.
And it's like I was talking about on my show earlier. I talked about all that, and I said, yeah, there was things that I had forgotten about that document, you know, specifics and stuff. But I remember walking away from like the definitive treaty of peace 1783, walking away from that document thinking that, hey, he didn't really grant sovereignty, but I couldn't remember why I thought that offhand. And then I remembered, it's like, oh, wait, it's because he's a prince and that's not in the purview of his office, and it's also a fake treaty, and it's up to the emperor to do that, and you can't grant sovereignty anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
how much? Let's see. What do we got on our time here, dude?
it's
we got about 15 minutes.
1847 right now.
Yeah, about 14. No, yeah, something like that.
Or 1848 now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 12 minutes.
12 minutes. Okay, what are we going to talk about in 12 minutes?
Well, I was talking about all kinds of stuff here, as I mentioned simulation theory and how even if we are living in a computer simulation, it doesn't really matter because it's just one step removed. Because if we are in a computer, then someone has built that computer, and there's like people's there. Where do they come from? And their Earth has to be flat too. So yeah, I think it's all just consciousness.
Right. Yeah, very possible. I wouldn't even argue that fact, because obviously I don't know. But as far as it being a possibility, yeah, why not?
Well, what I think may be happening is because we have computers in our consciousness now, we're perceiving it as a computer simulation.
Right.
Because of just the way we're not exactly programmed, but just because it's in our consciousness, in our awareness, and that's what we're doing. We're creating a reality, and we're making it look like a computer simulation.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's like, when they say that you can think and grow rich, there's a lot to say about that. Because you can change your own destiny just by your pure willingness to put that into your everyday thinking, and shit will happen.
Yeah, but there may be it may be complicated because there might be like something called karma, and karma may be in play if karma actually does exist, or if there's plans that you made on a level of soul, and it could be that you just have to go through something.
Well, it's a matter of, if you want to just sit back in a easy chair and let karma take over, that's where you're going to be sitting, is in that fucking easy chair. However, and sorry I keep swearing, but don't worry about it. Rick don't care. It happens. You would want to make your own destiny. I believe everybody can change their own destiny, which is changing your reality, which in turn is reprogramming the simulation.
Yeah, but I still think that soul knows best, so that there are things that you really do have to go through. But yeah, you can make alterations to the plan to a certain degree, and maybe soul will find another way of giving you the same lesson within another context.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like the movie The Matrix. I mean, I totally believe that is very possible. So, you can change your own destiny just by your own willingness to keep that in your head, and act upon it. Don't just sit around in your easy chair. You ain't gonna get nothing done that way.
So, anyway, yeah, I talked about a lot of different things. Here, let me get my flashlight here. Yeah, I did talk about the do not detain list and stuff like that. I covered that and how to get on it. Oh yeah, I even mentioned about a little thing that I thought about BCE and ACE, which are like alternates to like BC, the 1 BC, for example, or AD, like the year 1980 AD. And I got to thinking about it. It's like, well, BCE stands for before Common Era, as in ERA, era, and ACE stands for after Common Era. So, what is Common Era? You know, it's like there's a hole in their little system. You know?
No doubt. Another thing would be, which I'm sure you probably covered this on one of your shows, but I think a lot of people out there would really like to know how to get sovereign, to be sovereign
Yeah,
entity.
that's basically. Well, I'm kind of still working on some things right now. I've got a document mostly done, and sometime next week I'm going to actually go through with the whole process and everything and finish what I started.
Right.
Part of the thing is I kind of messed up early on because there's things that I know now that I didn't know then. You know,
Sure.
but part of it, yeah, is the birth certificate. Now, there are other methods that other people talk about that can work. It's just that some of them are really a little overcomplicated, and
Costs money.
Well, yes, and some of them cost a lot of money for some reason or another because
Yeah, there was this one gal and guy who were had a YouTube channel. Well, they still do, and they were talking about being a sovereign person or entity, and they were giving away the information on this, and they had warned people that it's not cheap, and it was, I think it came up to like $1,200 or something to get everything set up and all that.
Yeah, I've heard like $3,000 for some of it. Yeah, they're
Really?
talking about like filing UCCs and stuff like
Oh,
that.
that's right. No. I take that back. They were saying right now, when I was listening to the video, right now it's $1,200. So you need to get in now before it starts going up. That's what it was.
Yeah.
So it has went up.
You have to be really careful about those things because you have to really know what you're doing for one thing. It is a really complicated process. And another thing is the information that they're talking about is actually freely available. You know, you can get the information for free.
Yeah.
But it's just you have to really know what you're talking about. You have to know what you're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely. Well, I could see on the time clock here, you got 5 minutes.
Well, is there anything you want to say before we leave there?
Oh, not really. Just check out your channel. That's the biggest thing. Get your channel going. Go over there and sub if you haven't subbed. Make sure you click on that bell icon so every time Thunder Bear does his show, you'll get notified. You don't want to miss it. Anyone wants to subscribe to my channel, you head on over to Flat Earth News Talk, Wesley States Flat Earth News Talk. Go ahead and do the same. And I do 2 shows on Saturday and Sunday, 1 o'clock to 5 and one at 5 o'clock Central Time, both on Saturday and Sunday. So yeah, that's about it.
Cool. Yeah, you know what? I actually forgot to mention at the beginning of my show what my YouTube channel actually is.
That's what you need to do.
Yeah, it's Thunder Bear Courage. Just type that in, and you'll be able to find it on YouTube. And if you want to know a lot more about my Facebook pages and stuff like that, what you really need to type in Google is Thunder Bear of the Courage family, and that shows you all of my stuff basically. Yeah.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, sweet. So now Are you having Rick Lowtech on your show next week?
I don't know.
Oh.
I really don't know. There's
sure
so many guests that I really
he'll
want to
join
have
you.
on. So,
Yeah, he'll join you. I'm sure of it.
yeah, it just depends.
Right.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta love it. I'm trying to get these other guys moving. NASA lies about everything, and even Synthetic Dread, Musicians for Truth. I've been talking to them and trying to kind of push them that way. Even Hori Sheets, for that matter. Hori actually did talk to Rick Lowtech, so they're in the midst of working on some technical stuff that Hori can help them out with. So who knows?
Yeah. All right. Well, I gotta end my show, and as always, if you're pulling out a parking lot at night, please turn on your headlights. Don't forget that, and your tail lights. Don't let any cops shoot you or rob you or anything. They don't. You don't want to give them an excuse for that.
No,
Okay.
definitely not.
Yeah, and be safe out there.
Yeah.
And
And thanks for having me on your show, man.
oh, you're welcome, and thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
And
no problem.
yeah, this is great being able to test all this out and get the timing better. I started a little bit too early on my YouTube. Yeah.
I started a little late on my Flat Earth Radio. I was like 16 to 20 minutes late.
Oh my.
But
all right. Well, everyone have a good night and be safe.
Keep it flat.
And I'm sorry, what?
I said keep it flat, everybody.
Oh yeah, keep it flat. Bye-bye.
All right, later, dude.
All right, later. Bye. End broadcast.